So would you say that loving them is the easy part?
Oh, loving is definitely the easy part. It's everything else that's hard to do.
Oh, that's the beautiful voice of beautiful Amber Joy Poulton there, and her new single is Loving is the Easy Part. And, of course, Tracy played that for me on Valentine's Day. That was lovely.
How adorable.
Yeah, isn't she a sweetie?
But do you know what we did, Amber? I said to him, look, I'm going to pick a song to play because our show actually went to air on, what do you call it? On
Valentine's Day.
So I thought, right, I'm going to actually pick the song that I want to go to air, and you pick one for me, right? So I played, how nice of me, Loving is the Easy Part, and I thought that was really nice. And do you know what he played for me? He played Jeff Brown's Cry a Million Tears. Have you heard that song yet?
No, but just by the title, I'm thinking not really a Valentine's Day song.
No, definitely not. It was like, are you going to miss me when I'm gone because you're going to miss all my dirty undies on the floor and the dishes building up in the sink? And I'm like, oh, come on.
But anyway.
Sounds like he was stirring you.
Now, you're a million miles away from us. You're down at the Fringe Festival in Adelaide at the moment.
Yeah, South Australia I live.
Oh, okay. How did is this a regular gig for you annually at the Fringe Festival?
Yeah, we do the Fringe every year, and this year we did the Honky Tonk Angels tribute to Loretta Lynn, which we do every year. Although I think that'll be the last year we do that here. And then I did a gig in the Garden of Unearthly Delights, which is a great spot.
I know we've got a lot of people talk about, we have a Eclectic Avenue show here on a Wednesday night, and they talk about a lot of people heading down to the Fringe Festival, just for the nature of it. So a lot of fun.
Well, I had some Queenslanders at the Fringe in the Garden at the show that I did.
Oh, there you go.
They were all on the cruise and country that I was on last year.
Oh, and a whisper tells me you're back again this year for the cruise and country.
Yeah, I was just thinking tonight, I cannot wait for that cruise. It can't come soon enough.
I mean, what a great gig! Like, we have a look at all the photos that come through while the cruise is still going, and a lot of fans, sending photos and saying, oh, I just saw this band, just saw this person, just saw that one. And I'm like, check out the location of that gig. That it's got to be...
once you know what drugs to take.
Oh, don't tell me you get seasick.
I didn't realise I was going to get quite so seasick. But the ships are very, very hospitable with the drugs that they hand out. So once I was on those, I was fine.
Oh, no.
So
how did your involvement in getting onto a cruise and country? Is there begging and borrowing, or what sort of?
No, there's not many gigs that come so easy, but the company that run cruise and country are here in South Australia, and I was at a show a couple of years ago, and they were handing out flyers, and I said to my husband, geez, I'd love to be on this boat, and then Nick Manov, who had started the whole thing, he said to me, we must have you on this boat. And I said, we'll make that happen. Yeah. So I'm hoping to be on it more and more, but this was my second one.
Well, that sounds fantastic. That's brilliant. Now, you've the single Lovin' is the Easy Part. How's the response with that going?
It's been really lovely. It's a very touching song. If you listen to the lyrics, it speaks true to couples that are fresh in love. That you've got to sort of keep that intensity going, and also couples that have been together for years, like my husband and I, that you constantly have to keep on giving each other affirmations or showing each other you love each other, because it's so easy to let that go, and then you find yourself in all sorts of strife. So even on the other day, I got a message from a friend of mine in another state, and she sort of said that really touched a nerve. My husband and I have been having problems. I had no idea. So it's good for them. I'm happy I can help a little bit.
And that's it, a lot of people listen to songs, or they actually turn to music, whether they're happy, they'll turn to music for when they're happy, when they're sad, and all that sort of stuff. And if there is a message in there, it really does make a big difference. And you probably, when you're writing the songs, I don't know whether you're thinking this is going to actually touch people, or whether this is how I'm feeling, I wonder what's going to happen. So
yeah, I think for me, when I'm songwriting, I'm very much focused on how I feel about it. But they're all common issues, so you just assume that there are women or men out there with the same feelings as what I have. But I think with country music, so long as you're telling a story, they don't mind if they relate to it or not, so long as they're in the story with you.
Now, how do you go? I know you've made a. I know last time we caught up with you, we were talking about how much work you do as you tribute stuff for the Red Lynn and the Honky Tonk Queens and so forth. How do you find yourself to find your own voice? You know, when it comes down to writing a song, getting it there, as opposed to all of the time you're being someone else.
Yeah, excellent question. It's just happening now. I've used the tribute show as a way to get my foot in the door with people who didn't know me. And I feel like now I can introduce my own songs. And the whole time I was doing that tribute, the sales of my original album and the tribute album were equal. So if each person that came to the tribute, they took home an original album. So those people are still coming back now and saying, when's your next album out of
That's
originals?
fantastic.
So I'm just sort of focusing on that now. I'll still do the tribute every now and then for big shows and things, but focusing definitely on the originals.
And I noticed you've spent a lot of time writing with Doug Bruce.
Yeah, the last album was produced and co-written with Doug, and this next album I recorded in Nashville, but I still have 2 songs on there that were co-written with Doug, and they're 2 absolute humdingers.
Yeah, he's making a big splash. We're glad we've got him in Australia now, aren't we? That's for sure.
Yes, and he's a top bloke.
Well, we've got a very busy night ahead of us, so we might go out with Amber Joy Poulton and "Loving Is the Easy Part." Enjoy. We better give it a plug. If someone wants to get hold of one of the CDs, what's the easiest way to do that?
Probably the easiest way would be my website, which is amberjoypoulton.com.au, or Facebook is the way to go at the moment, I think.
Yeah,
there it
Facebook's
is.
taken off, isn't it, with things like that? And, of course, you can always give the radio a call here, 54951015, and we will give you directions to get that CD.
Terrific. Amber Joy Poulton, it's been a pleasure to catch up with you again. Good luck with the rest of 2013.
Thanks for having me on. I always enjoy chatting to you.
Pleasure.